You're my ticket to paradise. Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror, baby. Now I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
Hey guys, so for today's Vlogmas video, we are going to do, because you guys liked when I did my talking and folding laundry vlog. I think, was it the first day of Vlogmas? I can't even remember, but you guys really enjoyed that. So far, very committed to Vlogmas, but at the same time, I gotta make sure everything else is done around the house. So I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me some questions, anything that you wanted to, so let's just jump right in. All right, I can't find the question now, but I peeked a little bit earlier when I first asked all these questions. Now, since then, I've got a ton of them. Somebody asked a really good question. Of course, the light wants to start messing with me as soon as I start talking. It's okay, we're gonna keep going. But somebody asked why Frank and I pronounce our last names differently. Now, this is not the first time I've gotten this question, or I've had people come after me for pronouncing it a certain way. Okay, so here's a backstory. So for those who don't know, which you probably do know if you're watching this channel because it's my new channel name, but it's Britney Morrow, M-O-R-R-O-W. I'm trying to like make some way or make some room for all of these clothes. When I first met Frank and when I saw his name, I automatically, because the way that you see it and the way that it's spelled, you would think, okay, it's said Morrow. But then when I heard him say it, I think we were on our first date and he went up to let the lady know about our reservations. He said Morrow, and I was like, wait,
how do you pronounce the last name?
Like almost like it's supposed to be an A, like M-A-R-R-O-W, and he said Morrow. And I was like, oh, this whole time I thought it was spelled Morrow. Like you think when you look at it, like instinctually, that's how I said it. And we still joke around about it when I say it in public or if he says it, because it literally sounds like he's saying M-A-R-R-O-W, like Morrow. But people have caught on that we say it differently, so I've gotten called out for it. And I think it's because I was talking to Frank about this. I was like, okay, why is it that we pronounce it differently? And I think he had a good point. Here, Fletcher. Because of his accent, he says it that way. And since I do not have an accent and I just see it for what it is, I say it a different way. But sometimes I'll consciously try to say it like Frank, but my brain also doesn't compute. It doesn't want me to say it like that. So that's honestly the real reason why we say it differently sometimes. And there was actually one time we went to an event in Idaho, and I don't know if it was a mix-up or maybe they heard us say our last name. I don't know. For whatever reason, the name tags, go get the lanyard and you'll have like a name tag, the event and all that kind of stuff. Ours said Marrow, M-A-R-R-O-W. I don't know. We just don't make a big deal about it. It doesn't really bother either one of us, and that's the real reason why. I'm actually gonna go to the bottom because I always feel like I never get to the questions at the bottom. I'm always looking at the ones that people have just asked. So this is a good question. Do you and Frank exchange Christmas gifts? How does that work? That's a good question because we decided, in this lighting, it is bothering me so much. All right, so that's a little bit better. Also, look how cute this shirt is that I made for Aria with my Cricut. I just got this file. I think I got it on Etsy. That's where I get a lot of my SVG and PNG files. I was actually a little nervous how this one would wash because of this like iridescent iron-on, but it actually washed pretty well. And then I just ironed it on myself, printed it out and everything. So we do Christmas totally different. For example, last year we decided not to get anything for each other for Christmas and take the money that we would spend on each other and go towards a trip. So January this year we went to Colorado. That was like our Christmas present to ourselves. This year it was a little bit different. And it actually kind of worked out because the things that we wanted were around the same price. So Frank said that he wanted this for Christmas. I said I wanted this for Christmas, and it just kind of worked out like that. I don't know if you guys feel the same way I do. I love to give gifts. I love to be a gift giver. I've always felt awkward receiving gifts. I've never been that overhyped person like, oh my god, thank you so much. I've always been so awkward with opening presents for whatever reason. I don't know. So I would rather give to people, and when it comes to Christmas, the only thing that truly makes me happy is seeing my kids excited and happy for Christmas. And I truly don't need anything at all. I understand, you know, people want to give, and that's the whole purpose of Christmas, but for me, it's a deeper meaning. It's seeing how excited and happy my kids are and just spending time together and just eating good food and watching Christmas movies. So whenever anybody asks me what I want for Christmas, I'm like, I don't know. I guess if you want to get me something, gift cards, I don't know. I've always been that kind of person. So Frank's kind of learned that. So this year when Christmas was coming around, he's like, Brittany, what do you want for Christmas? Is there anything you need? I'm like, okay, listen, you tell me what you want for Christmas and then we'll just go ahead and get it. So Frank has learned that now, and we just like communicate with each other. Okay, what are you doing for each other for Christmas? Is there something you want? Is there something you want? Can we just get it for each other or do a trip like we did last year? We don't really have any kind of method on how we go about Christmas shopping. So I guess I'm curious to know, how do you do Christmas shopping for your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? Let me know. I'm always genuinely curious what other people do. I'm actually doing pretty well for being able to answer questions and fold clothes at the same time. So this is a good question. What was your heaviest weight? You look amazing. Oh, I appreciate that so much, Tanya. I think my heaviest weight was 150, 155, and that was at least, I would say, but minus when I'm pregnant. I'm assuming she means like not pregnant, but that was when I was not pregnant, and that was after Harlow was born. And obviously I was newly postpartum, but there was a good time until she was almost a year old that I stayed at 150. Even at that weight, that's not even that big of a deal for my height, like, and my BMI, but I can just remember how awful I felt. I'm just talking about me personally, just how I felt energy wise. I felt constantly sluggish, tired. I just didn't feel my best internally or mentally. Maybe one day I'll get into deeper conversations about weight in general. And I've had this idea in my head that was engraved when I was a child, unhealthy ideas that I have now thankfully overcome. Worrying about your weight and what you're eating and just everything around that is almost mental torture, and I've lived it, I've dealt with it since I, like I said, a child, or I want to say, maybe I should clarify, since I was a teenager. Thank God I've overcome the mental aspect of that. Like I said, maybe I'll get into that later on, but yeah, 150 was the most I've weighed not pregnant. Now, being pregnant, I gained the most with Aria. I think I got up to 180 with Aria. I gained at least 60 pounds with her. What was the type of therapy you were doing before? You mentioned it before, but I can't remember. So the therapy I think she's talking about is EDMR or EMDR. I always get it mixed up. I want to make sure that I say it correctly. I always get the letters mixed up, just in case you guys ever want to look it up for yourself. So it's called EMDR therapy. That stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So basically what it is these little paddles that you hold, or you could, I think you can do tapping on your own. I prefer to hold the paddles, and they vibrate, and I've talked about it many times. It works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody. For some people, it can actually bring up more trauma and make it worse, and because you do almost have to go through the same emotions, because you're bringing up topics that affect you. No matter how much you think you've moved on for something, it's almost like that is in your body makeup at that point, because you lived it, you went through it, it's a part of you almost. But just because it's a part of you doesn't mean that it defines you. That makes sense. And you sometimes have to go through all the emotions about stuff. There's been many topics in therapy that I thought like didn't affect me, and then the minute that I started doing the therapy and talking about it, it's just like a floodgate of emotions and crying and getting it all out. But basically what it does, the best way I can explain it, is it neutralizes your emotions attached to that topic or that trauma or whatever it may be. So for me personally, everybody's different, but when I think about certain things now, before it would like hurt, it would sting, I would get angry, I would get upset. I can think about stuff now and I can process it and not have those emotions with it, so I can still be like, you know what, yes, I've gone through this. I don't have all these negative feelings attached to it anymore. I lived through it. I got through it. I'm a better person. I made it on the other side. I'm stronger. But I don't have these these really, really big emotions attached to it. It's just like very, very neutral, and it's helped a lot. And it's helped a lot with healing. It's helped with a lot of things that have happened in the past. I recommend it, but at the same time, just be very, very conscious that if you've had like really traumatic experiences and it's hard to talk about when you're doing those therapies, it's gonna come back out, and sometimes, you know, that can be very traumatic. It's like reliving it all over again. So I can understand, you know, why some people, they can't do it. I've had a lot of people reach out and say they tried it didn't work for them. The lighting is messing up again, and that's fine, because not one therapy works for everybody. I'm sorry, you guys, about this crazy lighting. That's why I hate this time of year. I almost get like, so when the sun starts to go down at 4 p.m., I start to get really sad because I wish it could just be sunny. Not all the time, but you know, like it is in the summer. What was Fletcher's name going to be if he was a girl? So Fletcher's name was going to be Cora Frankie, or was it Frankie Cora? I can't even remember at this point, but we absolutely love the name Cora for a girl. So if Fletcher was going to be a girl, it was definitely going to be that. So somebody asked, why have you chosen to delete the very old videos? Anything to do with how you've changed? Okay, so this is a good question. I actually did not delete the videos. I privatized them, and actually I've started to, well, a while ago, I started to put them back on public again, but it just takes a long time, especially when you have over 1,000 videos, to go through all of the videos, especially because there's certain videos like that involve the kids getting hurt, or a lot of Nolan's very intimate appointments. I have to go through all of those videos. If I could, I would just like go through all of them, like just a mass checking of every video and put them on public. But because I have to go and look at every single video that I've uploaded, like, okay, check this one's okay, don't check that one, because there are certain videos that even though my intentions were good when I put them up, I just don't feel comfortable having them up anymore. But a lot of the videos I am okay with putting back up. It just takes a long time to go through all of them. So I'm actually glad that that person asked that, because now it's reminded me that I need to go through that again, because I haven't started. I was like periodically uploading them or putting them back on public, so I need to go on there again and start putting them, or some of them, back on public. Okay, totally random, but I got this onesie for Nolan at Target, and he is obsessed with it. He loves it so much. I think it's when they were having their Black Friday sale, but it has like little video games all over it, or it's like video game themed, and he loves it all the time. He wants me to wash it almost every single day for him, so he can wear it every single night. Okay, so this is a very good question, because it's very relevant to what we've been talking about so far in Vlogmas. It's how did you have the elf talk with Aria? So we finally had to have that talk with her. If you guys have small kids around, might be the time to put some AirPods in or tell them to go play. So we realized that it was definitely time to have that talk with Aria, because we didn't want her to keep like saying things around the kids and questioning around the smaller kids, because then I know that they are going to start questioning it, and when they hear her. So we were like, okay, she knows something's up. Well, we need to have that talk with her. And before I could even like start to explain about the elf, she cut me off. She's like, it's okay, I know that it's you and Frank. That's exactly what she said. I'm like, okay, well, how do you feel about it? That's the first thing I want to know. I'm like, what is your emotions around it? She's like, I'm okay with it. And for me, it was like a little sad, because that part of her, I guess, and I don't want to say innocence, but I guess innocence in a way, it's gone. But at the same time, I was like, well, no, it's not gone, because there's still magic and the spirit of Christmas and Santa. I believe in the spirit of Santa and Christmas. That's what I told her. I'm like, I don't know if you do, but I still believe in it, even as an adult, even though I know it's not real, even though it's so hard for me to say, but even though I know it's not real, like I still hold on to the magic and the spirit around it. Just like, you know, when we went to Disney World, we know that those characters are not real. They're not from the movies or anything, but it's just like the magic around it that makes it so special. So she understood that, and somebody actually said in the comments, they're like, we told our son that he's in the secret club. So that's what I told her. I was like, look, how's it feel to be a part of the secret club now? And she's like, okay, I want to help out you guys. And then she came down last night after we were getting ready for bed and putting the elf up, and she's like, okay, so where did you put Freddie? Like, she was excited. I guess it means a lot to me and her that she can still be involved even though she doesn't believe anymore. This is a good question. How are you doing? People suck. Saw latest headlines, and I know it can't be easy. So this is a good question because I understand that I am under a microscope sometimes. Even though I am a real person, I have my highs, I have my lows, just like you, just like the next person. But for me, I can't do it in private, or I can't go through something in private unless I completely shut myself off from social media. If I take a social media break like I did, it doesn't matter what the reason is for, people are going to still speculate and think something is one way when it's a totally different way. And even though it's hard for me because I just want to be like, listen, what you're saying is not true, what you're saying is ludicrous, that is definitely not what's going on. It's not gonna really do anything at the end of the day because people are gonna believe what they want regardless. And that I am just like everybody else who goes through their own stuff, goes through their own mental stuff. But it's okay because I don't really mind being candid and real and open about that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I deserve privacy just like everybody else. And if people want to speculate about different things, that's totally fine with me because at the end of the day, I'm the only one that knows what's going on, and people are really basing stuff on things that they see here and there and then trying to piece it together to fit their own narrative. And I'm just over here like, what is going on? That is definitely not what's going on. That's why I can't even imagine, because I am such on a small scale compared to celebrities. I couldn't even imagine like the crap that they go through. All right, so I think I'm going to answer one more question because I'm getting down to the last bits of clothing that I need to fold. So I keep getting a lot of moving questions. People wanting to know, do we have any plans on moving or getting another house soon? This person asked, are you thinking about moving again and doing a custom build home, only bigger than your current? So as of right now, we do not have any moving plans. I think I've told you guys though that we don't see ourselves staying here. Obviously this house can fit us, but at times we can definitely feel that we are probably gonna need something bigger, and that we love this house so much. You guys know we've put so much time, so much money, so much blood, sweat, and tears into this house, but at the end of the day, we know that we cannot stay here. This is not our forever home, I should say. So we don't have any plans yet. Ideally, our dream of ours would to be buy a piece of land, a piece of property, and then look into building a custom home. We actually were thinking about doing that the beginning of, I think it was this year, earlier this year. I'm pretty sure, because of the market right now and the prices, it's not possible right now. So I don't want to give a time frame on when that will happen, but definitely within the next 5 years. And there goes the lighting again. I'm so sorry, you guys. But definitely within the next 5 years, we will be looking into that. Hopefully sooner than later. But we've also thought about buying another property and completely doing renovation and like an investment property. But we aren't 100% sure yet on what we want to do. The camera just randomly turned off on its own, but nothing is set in stone right now. I guess that's the best way to put it, but we would love, like if we could right now, we would definitely buy land and start custom building and going that whole route. Or sometimes I think maybe we should just invest, because you know this is a big enough house, and even though it does get uncomfortable sometimes, like we still, you know, we can still make it work. That's the thing. So I don't know, you guys, whatever we decide though, you guys, we will definitely keep you updated and let you know our plans with that for sure. But I am done. We are gonna go get some dinner. I am actually happy I didn't vlog today because I feel like I can relax for the rest of the day. We're gonna go look at some Christmas lights and spend time with the kids. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this style, please let me know in the future, or if you'd like me to do some more Q&As or Q&As with Frank, definitely let me know. But I am gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in our next one. Bye guys.
Hey, now look into my eyes. You can use them as a mirror.